Hi, ladies. It's Monique with Boundaries for Women. I'm here to remind you that you're worthy of love and respect. And today I'm talking about why empaths are magnets to narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, and other unpleasant beings to deal with, and what you can do about it. So, if you don't know what an empath is, an empath, there's another phrase for it, which there was a book written about 20 some years ago called The Highly Sensitive Person. And that's pretty much describing what empaths are. There's loads of information on it out there. And it basically means someone who is highly attuned, picks up on energy, picks up on just spiritual things, picks up on people's motives, picks up on their behavior, just really notices everything. Almost like you're like a sponge picking up on everything going on in the world. You may be sensitive to smells, to electronic things. You may well, you probably have a really deep spiritual connection with animals. Not always. I do. And you can just sense things about people. You can sometimes sense when something's wrong. Even when somebody says they're fine, you can sense that there's something going on. You have a deep level of ability to empathize with others, with suffering, and it can often feel overwhelming if you have not learned how to manage that, how to, not carry the whole weight of the suffering of the world. And that's a process. So, and so if you are this kind of person and you're wondering why, if you're such a compassionate, loving person, how could it be possible that you've attracted certain types of people into your life? Um, because think about it, what would be more of a magnetic pull for a toxic type of individual, or just someone who's really not operating in their best state in life, than a person who, or especially, and also someone, by the way, who may be exhibiting highly selfish behavior, high self-absorption, um, not a high level of empathy with necessarily your feelings. What would be better than someone who is totally open and available for another person? Someone who is totally compassionate and who is self-giving and picks up on things and almost anticipates another person's needs and meets them. That's like, that's like candy for them. That's like, oh, that's just like everything they could possibly want, is someone who feels for them, someone who picks up on what they need, someone who anticipates their needs, someone who pays attention to them, someone who's always complimenting and being kind and affirming to them. Now, whether that's reciprocal is a whole nother question, which generally it's not, where the empath person becomes like the river of life to this person who just like consumes it like there's no end to it. And what I used to think of it as is like taking everything about you that is wonderful and good and just like throwing it into some vortex where it's not even reciprocated, but it's just like it's like there's no end to, you could just shovel and shovel and shovel forever, and that person's void would never be full. And this is where that whole thing of narcissistic supply comes in, because that's why you can often feel like you can never meet their need. You can never do enough for them, right? But if you're an empath, you're especially vulnerable to being that kind of person who gets involved with these kinds of people, because they have an ability to um, sort of shapeshift to present to you a reflection of who you are. And that sounds really creepy, and it is. So they observe you, they see how you are, and they basically are trying to mimic your behavior so that you feel like they're like you, but they're not like you if they're in any of those categories. And they will take all of these good qualities of yours and all the things of like what in a healthy relationship would be flourishing, and they will take and take and take and take until there is nothing left of you. And if you are an empath and you're a highly compassionate person, there's a high tendency to just want to think that that's like your job in life is to keep giving, but to keep giving to someone who is abusing your love and your care. But that is not your job in life. It's no one's job in life. And as sad as it is that some of these people have these issues, it is not your job to fix it. It's not your fault that they're that way, and there's nothing really you can do about it. And the thing with being an empath is you may think you're that one person that's going to help them. You're the one because you're special and they're special, and what a perfect fit it is. And that is an illusion. And it is an illusion I lived in. And so I understand how hard it is to break that illusion and finally just go, this person is this way. It's not my fault, but I can't cure it. If they suddenly or someday get better, that's fine, but not with me in the picture. So hopefully that's a little bit of help on that. And what you can do about it is to become very, very attuned, because you have this you are highly attuned, right? But to really tune into what you need and what is best for you, which can be quite challenging in the beginning, but to recognize what kinds of people you seem to be attracting or allowing into your life. Not saying it's your fault they're coming into your life, but when certain kinds of people show up, recognize them. Let your intuition, which is probably very strong, don't let it be dimmed, don't let it be silenced, and tune into it so that you more quickly recognize when certain kinds of people show up. And you do not have to spend 1 second longer interacting with someone who gives you a bad vibe than you want to. So if you within 5 minutes start sensing some weirdness from somebody, or within 1 minute, you do not owe anybody an explanation. You don't have to just walk away. Just walk away. And that honestly, you don't you don't ever have to explain. And especially if there's a situation where you're any kind of danger thing, any kind of danger flag that comes up in you, walk away and, get to safety. But if it's a situation where there's somebody in your vicinity that you're having to deal with, and maybe they're in, I don't know, they could be in some community setting that you have to be around, then just absolutely minimize any contact you have to have with them. Um, and if this is a relationship you're in and you know this is what the situation is, then please get the support you need from me or another professional who knows how to deal with this kind of stuff, and get out. Because every day and every minute that you stay is a minute and a day longer, that makes it harder and harder. So, take it from me. You don't want to go as long as I did before you finally got out. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any more questions on this, or would love to hear comments and see comments if you're an empath and you know this is the situation going on. Anyways, I hope that helps, and happy that you're here, and I wish you all the best and lots of love. Till next time. Bye.